Good day, good evening, good afternoon for whatever part of the world that you are watching this from. And welcome to another rendition of the All Elite Ensemble review. Yes, we
JVL is concerned about being surrounded by a bunch of dudes.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. Anyways,
He's found himself on the wrong couch.
Or the right couch, depending on what.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Hey, y'all know the origin story of how this came to be, so we are good to go with all of this. Anywho, hi everyone. My name is Mikey, and I'm one of the hosts for our AEW review show here on the BC WrestlePod, Twitchdom Podcasting Network Syndicate conglomeration thing we do every day of the week, except for most Thursdays. But that is not the case for the next 2 weeks.
I love that you've got the syndicate, the conglomeration, but not the ops in there yet. We haven't added ops yet.
Wait, hold on. Let me write this down again.
No,
Okay.
Don't put the ops in there. Please don't put the worst name.
No,
in
just for you, Professor, because we know you love it so much. All right,
they
so
can
we
be
get to
called
take
anything else and be cool as hell. They chose the ops.
So take two. Welcome to All Elite Ensemble, your weekly AEW review show here on the BC WrestlePod, YouTube, Twitch, Conglomeration Network, Podcasting Syndicate. All for the ops out here. All right. I have put it in our vernacular. It is there. And just for the professor, I will be making an ops t-shirt.
Yeah, and it's just me on the back.
That is your punishment for if you lose WWE League. You will have to wear an ops
I gotta wear an
t-shirt.
ops t-shirt.
We're gonna make it into
It's an ODD t-shirt. It's Ops Defiance Disorder t-shirt.
we'll turn it into a crop top.
I mean, I'd wear a crop top without ops on it. Like that'd be fine. Oh man,
Good thing to keep in mind in case you lose at Mania this weekend.
I have no shame. I have nothing left.
Anybody who tuned into our WWE review on Sunday knows that is a 3-way tie. So Mania is truly going to make and break us.
And of course I'm gonna get smoked because I chose with my heart, not with my head. I'm gonna get destroyed.
Who knows? So we shall see what happens with all of that. But we are here to review the Dynamite and the Collision from this past week. So Wednesday, April 9th and Saturday, April 12th. I think I got the dates right. Yes.
You did. Yes.
Okay, cool. But of course, I can't do this alone. First and foremost, I have the good old Ricochet of the group, though we don't smack his bald ass head, is the professor himself.
They're gonna give that man a concussion, just rocking him in the dome the way they're turning this out, man.
The memes are great.
The memes are great. Actually, when we get to that match, I really enjoyed it, and I don't think I was supposed to, but I did. Such strange, conflicting feeling.
Take the win. Just take the win.
Just take the win. Speaking of taking the wins, we also have JBL here tonight at Jamie G's great. I can't with these names.
I'm 3 for 3 in the weeks going on so far.
Hey, but you know what? Somebody has to keep up the bit, and it is you for right now.
Holding down the fort.
Holding it down for all of us. Holding it down for all the ops. Anyways. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to be here to review AEW. But before we get into all of that, if you like what you see on this screen, or even if you don't, we appreciate it either way. If you go check us out on the socials, literally we're almost on every social media site at BC WrestlePod. So I'm going to let you spin the wheel, make the deal, and choose the social media site that you would like to investigate, because you can pretty much find everything from out of context clips that will haunt us in future job applications, or, you know, when we end up getting bigger and they want to cancel us, but that is okay. We made it on the internet.
Coal Miners Glove match.
We have made it big. If the internet
tries to Coal Miners Glove match.
Oh yes, that's a deep cut there, Mr. Professor.
Oof.
What?
We will discuss it. Oh, it was a whole thing. We will fill you in afterwards.
Steak Roberts in a Coal Miners Glove match. If I remember correctly, in WCW.
Now, while the professor's going down the rabbit hole, I'll keep going with all of this. So we do report cards for all the shows and the pay-per-views. We have the out of context clips. We have announcements where you can see our lovely faces on certain things. And we also post schedules. Schedules are kind of my thing, and they should be your thing too. If you want to know what we're doing, check out the social medias, because we do a lot here, both stateside and international promotions as well.
If nothing else, looking at the kerning on Mikey's infographics is worth your time on social media. So take the time, see the boxes, enjoy the info.
Yes, exactly. But with that out of the way, we also have merchandise.
So far down. I love this.
I love watching his real-time reactions to all of this. But we also have merch. Special WrestleMania themed merch or just WrestleMania Hell Week merch in general is dropping this Friday. So stay tuned for all of that.
There's no preview picture here. We can't put that up.
No.
Oh,
because
Mikey.
We are going. I'm shadow dropping it. No, I'm excited. I've been working on it for the last couple of weeks now, so nice. I think it looks great. But then, of course, I'm like, maybe I'll tweak it here and there. And then it just spiraled into me deleting it and starting all over again 3 times.
You know, that's the problem with when you make something that good. You want to keep tweaking it. And after you tweak it so much, it gets excited. And then it ends up, falling all over the place or just really melting into a little puddle somewhere else when you tweak it too much. Then you got to pick it back up again and redo the whole process again. Except this time you've changed it just a little bit. Sorry, I'm going to go on a tangent about that. But what is the professor doing?
Again, in real time, he's reading. Professor, why'd he let the snake bite his own face? Why didn't he stop it at any time? Why? Why did Sting climb down the pole instead of just fire his pole down? Why is there a glove on a pole?
Wrestling.
And people think we
Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Gotta love it.
Why glove? Like there's no put the snake on the give me something more than just.
Well, and you look at how they set it up too. The whole promo about setting up what match it was. This was ostensibly, like planned before ahead of time. They put this on the wheel, and the wheel they could have rigged, and it still went to coal miner's glove match.
It's crazy. It really is.
Bring it back. Put the snake in. Like what is?
You cowards.
Cowards. Sorry, Dynamite.
We will come back to this. We will talk about it at the end because watching that whole entire thing in real time was probably worth wasting 10 minutes of airtime. I loved it. But let's get into the action that was AEW from this past week, beginning with AEW Dynamite. Remember, we are just coming off of Dynasty. So I'm just like, all right, Moxley, you just continue to talk the way that you've been talking. I will say this is probably one of the better ones that we've gotten, but it's still the Sound and the Fury with, signifying nothing at the end of this.
The day after Dynamite last week, my other group chat that I'm on started memeing me because it's just awkward now.
Yes.
Like how close these are getting.
Yep.
And that it's just virtually identical. But anyway, carry on.
I did make the meme this week, Professor, but I didn't send it to you. It's of Jenna from The Office, and with two pictures, one of Mox, one of you. They're the same picture.
Please send me this, please.
Yes. So, AEW Professor over here and John Moxley basically says the same thing, that there's no one on this roster who is going to be able to take the title from him, that nobody is ready. This is exactly what the problem was. I was like, okay. Yeah, sure. Whatever you gotta tell yourself, Moxley.
Lovely for you to say it, and we care why.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Yuta over here looking like he's a background NPC character.
Yeah, I'm just here to take a pin.
I was an adventurer like you once, and then I got shot in the knee.
Let me guess. Somebody stole your cinnamon roll.
Look, I don't care about this Death Rider storyline.
Do you really think the Dragonborn? Is it real?
Is it real?
I'm sorry, Mikey. Go. I'm just gonna be doing.
No,
Skyrim
I have
jokes.
nothing more to say. We can move on because that conversation was more interesting than what this was. I'm not even gonna lie. Which makes me mad because this was actually a pretty fun match.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, what do you expect? Shibata was getting a chance to actually work stiff against Moxley in America. Like this could not be anything but at least a 7 to 8 out of 10 match.
This was great, and I think Moxley. I don't want to say Moxley's bored. That's not what I mean. But he's starting to fall into his Dean Ambrose "Why the fuck am I here?" thing. Does that make sense? And it's he's gonna check out. And I hope that's not true because he'll probably take a bunch of people with him whenever that checkout happens. But he likes what he's doing. He gets paid really well. Tony loves him to death, whatever. But he's not mailing it in. That's not what I mean to say either. But he's definitely sort of, what are we doing? Where are we going? How are we going to get there? And you're going to disenfranchise him and he could work against you really quick.
Mm-hmm. And take a lot of people with him.
Absolutely. Again, I did not like the opening segment that was this Dynamite that opened up the episode, which made me mad because, again, I really like this match. Mr. Shibata Chapata Bread over here does not win, which makes me also very sad.
Did we even think he was going to?
No, not against Moxley. I also don't have hope for Spring Breakthrough Dynamite tomorrow either, which makes me very upset. But we'll get there when we talk about a certain Samoa Mimosa No Mames Joe talking about and drowning the camera in half of his own saliva.
Oh, squeegee was needed. Let's just say that.
Like,
you follow me, camera guy?
For reals. But from here, afterwards, though, we got Nicholas and Matthew Jackson over here. They try to make a deal with Mox, and then we get this very weird, elongated promo. So these two talk about the reasons that they want to team up with the Death Riders, and I'm like, no, don't lie to me. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, fourth wall break, look at the camera, I'll be like, do you think I'm stupid, Matthew and Nicholas? Like, y'all were shredding documents. Like, let's not even go there.
Y'all were shredding documents.
They definitely were. I feel like this was also called out, like, how stupid this storyline is by Kenny Omega later on. Like, it's just kind of like, this makes no sense. Nothing. Like, we talk about in improv, like, don't negate the premise, go with the premise, try to. I feel like they needed someone to come out and just completely just drop a deuce on the premise, because there has been no movement on this, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Well, speaking of dropping the deuce, Kenny Omega also cuts a really weird promo within this segment too, talking about his friend's Shih Tzu and taking a poop with the dog, taking a poop on places. Yep. I'm like, I love when Kenny cracks himself up during the promos, but I'm like,
remember, it's a dookie, not a poop. It's dookie. He's
whatever
referencing no holds barred here.
I love when Kenny cracks himself up.
That's what he's doing. That went right over my head. Dookie. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a strange deep cut, I guess. I don't know.
Basically, Kenny spent 7 minutes to get to a point that could have really, it literally could have been an emailified a version of, hey, you know, I came back to do this for me. You're back. I still need to get my lick back. Let's fight. Like, but Kenny Omega spent 7 minutes taking the long way around to get to that point. And then as he gets into the ring, he is interrupted by the one and only Rainmaker himself, Kazuchika Okada.
In the weirdest looking, like, Postman Pat ill-fitting gray suit that I've ever seen.
Hate this suit on him. It is not flattering.
I don't know whether he's getting up to go to work at the Mr. Bean factory or what he's planning to do here.
There's a Mr. Bean factory?
If Okada's around just like that.
What a glorious place that must be. The mischief to be had there. My wife's holding on the Mr. Bean factory.
Like this Wallace and Gromit looking mofo on the screen right now.
He kind of looks like a claymation character. Like, look how big his hands are. Yeah.
Is he trying to, try out to take on a Talking Heads reunion tour? Just like,
oh my God. I love you guys so much.
Burning down the house.
So the newest project from Leica Studios, Kazuchika Okada over here, looking like a claymation figurehead, comes down to the ring, have a weird face off with Kenny Omega, and then of course the Bucks are still here, but not for long, because whose house? Swerve's house. Swerve comes in with the chair to kind of make the save for Kenny and get Okada and the Bucks out of there. Swerve gets on the mic, declares that it's buck hunting season, and he about to take out Matthew and Nicholas because he still owes them from last time. And I'm like, technically, you got them back at the Blood and Guts match, but continuity doesn't exist in AEW, so why not? Which then,
this whole sequence. Sorry, I know we got a lot to get to, but I just want to say this: watching this put the conspiracy thought in my head that I wonder if sometimes they botch promos to make matches look better later. Like, did they go out here and sort of flounder, not purposefully necessarily, but like, let's make this awkward. Sorry, there's a dog and a puppy playing with things. It wasn't quite. Did they go out there and sort of go off the rails so that when Swerve showed up, we all get that? And that's probably not true at all, but that's what happened to me.
I feel like they didn't have, they either misjudged the amount of space backstage to get where they needed to go, or someone gave a cue a little too late, and so there was like a time gap that they didn't expect.
It could be, yeah, could be.
I don't want to blame stage management because I know better than doing that, but I mean, stage management.
Well, it's not. I don't think that's on stage management. That's on like crew and producers and meddling and who knows what's going on behind the scenes, right?
It's true. Or maybe, Nana had to go and, get his coffee cup together and use the bathroom. Who knows?
The good stage managers are over at like CMLL, right? Where there's boom, let's go. It never stops.
To be fair, you have Rocky Romero kind of being a part of that as well too, so that also explains a lot. Both in CMLL and New Japan too. Like it's crazy. But you know what I'm gonna blame about this match? I blame rolled ankles because damn, Pac, damn.
Like I feel for Pac. He can't string 3 months together without getting hurt.
I'm like, damn it. So we end up getting, on paper, it should have been a banger and a barn burner of a match between Pac, the bastard Pac, and whose house, Swerve's house. But Pac gets hurt in the middle of the match, so they have to call an audible and end it in a weird, quick way. I'm like, gosh, dang it, Pac. We can never go 3 months without you getting hurt. And now who knows how long we can be back, because spoiler alert, later on when we go talk about Collision 2 and the rest of Dynamite, Moxley is going to be stepping in for the Spring Breakthrough match for the Trios Championships tomorrow because Pac is injured. I'm like, gosh, dang it.
Yeah, this looks more than rolled. It is not looking clean.
It is.
He's out for a couple months. The best, maybe a year. The worst.
They're saying at minimum it's a high ankle sprain. At maximum, it's definitely something torn or broken.
Damn, Pac.
I feel for every one of them when this happens, but especially Pac, because Pac, he's on, he's off, and when he's off TV for quite a while or just helping out, like you want to see him go out and have a couple of good matches. Are they worried to put him into a lot of matches together? It looks like it, yes. And I didn't think he was that like injury prone, but he's had nothing but trouble the last couple of years.
It sucks for Pac. He's literally a glass cannon because he could be fantastic, but damn, he's always getting hurt.
I don't know if it's some folks' bodies break down. He doesn't seem very old to me. I don't know how long he's been doing this.
He's in his mid-30s, or like late 30s.
How hard he works,
oldest, maybe.
That's hard.
It sucks. Well, it sucks for Pac and it sucks for Swerve too, because their match we had to get to a quick finish because somebody got injured. So it was what it was. I give this a little grace. I can't be too harsh on it because it sucked that it happened in the middle of the match. So yeah. I'm not going to speak more on it because, up until the injury, I thought this was great.
He's 38 years old.
Mm.
And he's been wrestling for 20 years. He's been wrestling since 2004.
Damn.
So,
that's hard.
20 years in the ring will definitely do that to you.
Damn.
Yeah. And for anyone who watches sports, once things start going consistently, that's when you start to get worried and scared. So I hope he gets a good stretch together.
Yes, same here. I mean, but and I want to see this match redux. I want to see what they're capable of.
Exactly. When Pac is ready and he's cleared, give me a rerun. I don't care what nobody says. This promo was great. So we get
have no voice.
So we get a back-to-back shot of the two teams involved in this battle royale with some money involved that we're going to talk about in a little bit, like the 4-on-4. So we have the Crew, Beast Mortos, and dubbing himself the team leader is Ricochet. So we know this group project is going to fail or get at least a D at the best. And then we get the weirdest classroom project group ever, but it works. So Mark Briscoe asked the simple question. When they win, what is everybody going to do with the money? Will Ospreay with no voice literally goes, Disney World. I was like, oh, he is so on the spectrum coded. I love him so much. That is, take your kid with you. Mike Bailey's like, I'm going to get some shoes. I'm like, I see what you did there. Kevin Knight wants to go to Magic City. I was like, all right, Big Pimpin', let's go. And Mark Briscoe cracked me up so much just with how serious his answer was. He's like, well, guys, I want to diverse my portfolio. I'm like, what the hell is this? I was like,
he's up there in years and needs to make sure his retirement's taken care of in this weird economy that's drowned. Oh, sorry, we can't go down that road. For that thing will be demonetized. Anyhow, Mark Briscoe definitely has some good places to invest that $100,000.
Yeah, he's gonna buy puts on the S&P and then sell them at midnight. I didn't hate these. It did feel like a high school project, so I'm glad that you said that. It was just sort of like, you four go. And like by the end of the movie, they're all friends, even though in the first few minutes they're like, why are we working together? I don't get it.
I feel like this was a group project that they had to like make a 90s style rap video for their class describing the earlier books of the Bible just for whatever needs to be the most like random tunnel somewhere.
This is the this was the history project that they needed to like. They got a decade assigned to them, and they had to do a history report on it. So they chose to do a rap video, and this is the most like.
Except they use like a VeggieTales knockoff, and they
Yes!
just do the lyrics of the thing.
It's like Milli Vanilli, but VeggieTales coded.
But to be fair to them, they get this done, they edit it together, they think it's spectacular, and just to get that extra little bit of credit, they build a 2-scale Ark of the Covenant and take the DVD into class with it, just in the Covenant itself.
They get extra points from all of that. The teacher is impressed. They get an A on the project. Meanwhile, Team B with Ricochet, Crew, and Beast Mortos couldn't get on the same page, so they get a D plus.
The crew with Ricochet was like, oh yeah, Ricochet's dad owns a camcorder, and so they're all just going to get together because they said this rich guy's dad could take care of.
Don't ask us why the dad has the camcorder, but he uses it all
in that room too. But who knows?
Yeah.
These promos, they weren't bad. They were sort of sticky, and it doesn't bother me.
They
but
were
the
old
fact
school, like late 80s WCW.
Yeah. And they're somewhere in Baltimore under a subway. Fine. Doesn't bother me. They're kind of shoddy. Fine. I'm not picking on them. The fact that we got these promos and then we got the match we got was a bait and switch that I was not expecting at all.
Well, let's talk about it first, though.
This damn promo. Please continue.
Oof.
So before we get into the match, because we go to commercial, we come back, and the newest installment of As the Hangman Agro page turns. Like, this is just a telenovela. I love it so much. But Hangman goes backstage.
The page of our lives.
The page of our lives, yes. Oh my gosh. Hangman goes backstage. He was looking for Swerve. Swerve is not there. But then Hangman decides to talk to Prince Nana, that he tells Nana to tell Swerve to stay out of his business, that he doesn't need help. He doesn't need support. And you know what? When paths cross again, he's still going to get Swerve. And Nana, in a twist that nobody saw coming, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, know what I'm saying, tries to apologize to Hangman, but Hangman has none of it.
Well, not even have none of it. He says, you don't get to do that.
Yep.
Yes, you don't get that. You don't get that. And he calls him on it.
Yeah.
Heavy drama. To do I know it's been inconsistent and I know he's angry all the time, but he has probably one of the only through lines in all of AEW, if that makes sense, right? If you're looking at the theater point, right? This character that's gone through all these things and is fighting for and failing or winning or whatever else, it actually has something to fight for as far as, you know, an episodic FX show from 2009. Yeah, like that's what we're looking at with him. Everyone else is kind of floundering. He's got an actual reason to be here.
He truly is that underpinning of AEW storylines that has been able to have the legs it has and is allowed to then have that emotional payoff for what he's getting there. Like, it's earned.
And in the episode where him and Swerve get married, it's going to be so good. It's going to be.
It's the Wednesday night event of the season.
Except I got to back up there, Professor. It's not just a one-night event. It's a week's worth of episodes because it takes 5 days to get to the actual vows from all the emotional roller coaster we're on.
Yes. We love it. And this has
I drink your blood. You burned down my mom's house. Yeah,
you tried to muffle my baby with a t-shirt.
It's kind of crazy that Hangman has probably the best storyline in a place where storylines go and die in AEW. Like, it's crazy. Like, his is the most consistent, and I'm really hoping it pays off to what looks to inevitably be maybe him winning the Owen at Double or Nothing, and then going to Y'all into Win, who hopefully we'll see.
Wild card is. I mean, we still don't know what that is yet.
Yeah,
it's really Goldberg. Goldberg comes back to AEW.
Yeah, the wild card
just to get jobbed by Adam Page.
I really hope. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to see Swerve as the wild card." I don't want to. I love Swerve, but I don't want him to be the wild card.
It's not a first. I want that. Match.
Yeah, not a first round because we already talked about it last week. Oh, we're going to talk about a Collision. I'm like, and last week when we talked about it too, I'm like, we had some wasted first round matches, but I digress.
Is it
now? Let's talk about the good stuff.
Is it bad? Before we move on, is it bad that I want to see Paige and Swerve in the ring, face to face, like during a match, screaming at each other, and just Paige turns to Swerve and goes, "I can't quit you."
And then they kiss. Anyways,
They don't have to kiss, but just the line.
Zack Sabre Jr. did this weekend. It was
Can you smell his shirt like on a hanger?
Oh.
Whose house?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. So, anyways, we had a $400,000 explosive 8-man tag team match where we had Speedball Mike Bailey, Mark Briscoe,
Once.
Will Ospreay, and Kevin Knight taking on the Crew, Ricochet, and Beast Mortos. The match itself was fantastic. Also, the memes. Ricochet knew at this point he messed up. By the way, Mark Briscoe felt like he needed to get some extra stank on it because the man went like he did, and
Just
then
mean.
everyone went bald.
I put this down for my matches of the year to go back and watch at the end of the year because I was not expecting. I hate the trios. I've talked about it. Very rarely does it inspire me. 4-on-4 drove me nuts. And I don't mind the sort of look at all my action figures, put them all in the ring thing. That doesn't really, that's not what bothers me. It's just sort of, I got to take this seriously. Come on. What is this? But they didn't take it seriously. They showed out. They told a story. They did everything they needed to do. This was so much fun. Doing the 10 count, coordinating the 10 count of punching each other in the face at the same time. Kevin Knight looks like he's living the dream. You could see on his face, he's just like, this is the best day ever. 1, 2. Ricochet did some
behind too. He's like 2 punches behind because he was taking too long to get up there.
Ricochet did some amazing things. The Beast Mortos does things he shouldn't be able to do, especially wearing 5 pounds of a mask on his face. Like it was just this. I had no business like that. We went through a commercial break, at least what I was watching. So this was a good 17, 18 minutes. This went a long time. It was very good.
I looked at horrendous advertising for a lot of bad products just so I could see the rest of this match.
Sure. Yeah. I
see that Verbo commercial one more time. I swear to God.
Oh my gosh.
I can't.
There's a few that replay on YouTube TV all the damn time too. I think Speedball Mike Bailey is eventually going to, I don't want to say change his gimmick. That's not what I mean, but he's going to refine it a little more now that he's up here in AEW because he just stands out so much and he might like that. I don't know. But he had to slow down a few times because he works so fast. Him and Ricochet going heads up is amazing. Him and Ospreay, of course, dueling up and all those other things. He kicked. Oh, who'd he kick? I don't remember who he kicked. He kicked someone so hard I thought he killed him.
Action Andretti.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yeah. But I was like, oh, you just killed a man. Because the 2 times I saw Bailey on GCW, he just knocked dudes out. This was great. It had no business being this good. It had no reason to be that good.
Great little palate cleanser in the middle of the night and a good way to amp the energy up, which I loved.
Oh, 100%. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I would love to see multiple iterations of any of these 8 going up against each other in any format. So I am here for it. It'd be great.
I would love to see Briscoe Will Ospreay. How cool would that be? Just because, like any of those.
Oh, absolutely. So from here, we do get into our next segment where we hear from the Hurt Syndicate celebrating their title defense from Dynasty. And Maxwell Jacob Freeman doing the Maxwell Jacob Freeman things. They said no, bud. They said no.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I don't mind that they're going back to the well with MJF can't make a friend. I don't mind that part. What I mind is sort of making MVP a little weaker, that he can't control his guys. If that makes sense, that narrative falls a little flat to me, where I'm sort of like, if you're supposed to be the tip of the spear, they should listen to you, and they're not. I'm going to say this. I don't want to be mean. Bobby Lashley is still struggling to talk out loud.
Yep.
And that's heartbreaking that he's been doing this so long. And Sheldon's just sort of like, hey, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to say a few lines. I'm going to be myself. That's fine. It drives me crazy that no one's coached him up or given him any direction to get him a little more relaxed.
I would disagree with you on that. I think he has been coached up beyond coached up. He's one of those people you run into who honestly isn't cerebral. Like, he can think through. He's a smart guy.
Sure.
But he in front of a crowd the words just don't find themselves. He cannot bring himself to verbalize what he's trying to tell. His body tells a story. He's always been a physical person. And you run into those folks where no matter how much you give them, they can't make their brain work in a non-physical sense in their respect.
I guess that's just me as teacher. Like, I have hope for him someday, even though he's much older than me. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying not have hope, but I'm also being a teacher, but also being a director.
Yeah.
There is a point you get to where you can give every tool to every person, walk down, come meet them at their level, see what they can do. But if you don't set them in a place where their strengths are on display, they're going to struggle through to do anything like that. Bobby has shown he is a physical specimen. And if you need him to say 3 things, that's fine. But if you need him to carry a segment and not be the heavy in the background, he doesn't have the emotional intelligence to be able to do that.
Emotional intelligence or sort of creative? Well, yeah.
He can't read a situation and adapt to it, and he doesn't have timing. If you're feeding him, like,
maybe that's what it is. It's his sense of timing is just off. He's never hit a joke. He's never hit that's actually a really good point.
And you can do so much better with him on camera because you can get multiple takes. But live, if he's got no feel or he's not aware enough to be able to play off that stuff, which Shelton definitely is, MJF is classic MVP. You're in the room with 3 of those guys. You need to at least step up to the plate, and he can't even see it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because I'm wondering if that's what it is. Is the 3 of them are so damn smooth.
Yeah.
And so could do film acting tomorrow. Like, they're just in it. They breathe. They look at each other. They're on partner. And Bobby's just struggling when compared to them. That's actually an interesting point.
Bobby seems like in his real life, he is a guy who says very little and lets his actions speak. And he's a smart guy, but that's how it's always been.
As a military guy, as an enlisted officer guy, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
No.
So, all to say, Max needs to go back to the drawing board to figure out how he gonna get into the Hurt business, Hurt Syndicate,
Or
whatever.
does he?
Or does he?
I don't know. Bobby Lashley, MJF would be kind of nuts.
Oh, 100%. Penelope, I love you, girl. But we need to work on the promo a little bit. Also, Megan.
Normally, she can do better. But
yeah, she could do better. We've seen her do better. Also, Megan, I'm gonna see you Friday, girl. Like,
you'll see her from across the room. She's goddamn humongous.
Wearing a headdress, 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Only had to say 4 things to nail the promo. Like, perfect.
I love that they've done this with her where they have been parsing out her saying stuff. She said nothing up until her first loss. And then she started speaking. And it's been just exactly what she needed to. I am a giant monster, and I do not mince words. I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah, literally. She's like, I will make you bow down. Like, yes, mommy. What? Joey Janela, you were to take care of that. I'm just saying right now, bro. Don't mess this up. Oh, my goodness. But I do agree with you, JBL. I love that, even losing, which we still have the door open if we really want to, Tony Khan, of a rematch between Tony and Megan, because Tony had to do the surprise roll-ups, to win, because she could not get Megan to stay down with her other tricks. So she had to resort to a literal grab bag to try to win. And Megan, honestly, I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's it. Megan's done. Like, she like, her stock's going to go down. I'm like, have you seen this woman? She is about to fight somebody who is just as big as her, if not maybe a little bit bigger this Friday. So I'm like, y'all need to chill.
The internet finds any woman they can who's getting pushed and finds a way to marginalize them as fast as they can. It's just a cyclical thing. It's happening right now with WrestleMania too, right? It's like, you have no reason to do that. What are you doing?
Don't get me started, because people don't want to see black women succeed. I'm just saying it right now. But anyways, also, Megan, I need to know who does your headpieces, and will they sell me one? Because I want one to put on my wall, honestly.
Theater people, man. We make that stuff all the time.
Or burlesque dancers.
Also,
yes.
we did. That is also very true. And I happen to know a 1 currently in this review. Anyways, I will say though, we didn't talk about this much during the Dynasty review, but I really love the details of Megan's headdress. I was like, are those fake nails? You go, girl. Like, I was like, oh, so
There's
beautiful.
so many Easter eggs if you get close up to it. It's really kind of cool.
So good. I love it.
I'm
Megasis,
sitting here
I
like
love you.
wanting to see Megasis fight Nyla Rose.
Yes, that is the collision I want to see. Of course, I want to see Megan versus pretty much everyone. But if we were going to go pound for pound, like power against power, Nyla and Megan is where it's at, honestly. And if we can't get Nyla yet, a good other one for power is, because we saw it a little bit, I would love to see more of it. Megan versus Chris is exactly also what I want to see too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But fantastic. Love it. We're going to talk about you, Megan, when we get to Collision, because those poor girls, I hope they got extra pay after being thrown around the ring like that.
I'm pretty sure one of them lost a tooth somewhere. It was
Probably.
People losing teeth all over the place the last week or two.
Seriously.
People losing tooth.
AEW, even though we don't have a dedicated team, please let Tony be on commentary for all the women's matches in the future.
Every single, well, this has been, and I've been sending this in the group as well. There has been so many clips of Tony Storm all week leading up to this.
Yes.
He is gold on everything.
My favorite part, well, one of my favorite parts, because I have a couple other ones, is just like, as somebody who does this for a living, children at home, please do this.
Please try this at home.
I used to think that they were quiet because they were uncomfortable having her there.
They're dying of laughter.
They can't stop laughing. Excalibur tried to talk twice and just couldn't do it. Just
Taz audibly cracked up after Tony said something about I left. I was just like, I'm without my, I think, tobacco or something like that. Mr. Tasmanian Devil, I left it in your car. She's also just so quick-witted.
The best line came out of this, and it was up there as well. If Statlander and I were a team, we'd be Thunder Thighs, and if I was me and Mr. Siobhan, it'd be Tits.
Tony Quinn was trying not to crack up too. I could hear his breathing on the mic.
He was done. He had no chance.
Getting 3 inches from, she is just like lightning fast.
The 3 inches thing was just dead silent for a good 45 seconds. Like, she killed him.
We're lucky that she gets to have this dynamic with the Dynamite team. I want to see her go word for word with Nigel, because I think those two would be a hoot.
Do you not remember there was a point there where she either was, it was during Mariah May's run up to it, or when she was going against Mina or something, she was on Collision, and it was her and Tony and Nigel, and she was like, oh my God, she had him dying on his own thing.
That's why I need to see that more. But Tony on commentary needs to happen. Now let's talk about this match, because this was an Owen Hart women's tournament quarterfinal match between Chris Statlander, Saturday Night Fever, taking on Thunder Rosa herself, where Thunder is a girl's girl.
Glad she grabbed that out of there. It was so nice.
That's cool.
Yes, Thunder is a girl's girl. The match itself was, go ahead.
Just right before, we have to find the clip somewhere else too of Tony running down all of the people in the Owen Hart tournament before the start.
Collision was where it was at. She was given 60 seconds and she ran through everybody.
I want to see that. I did not see that.
But
I liked this match. It got off to a weird, like the first 2 minutes there's a few miscues, just nothing bad or anything like that. But it took them a little while to warm up and get into this. I wonder if they just lost their footing and where they were at. The second half of this was great. I think Tony kind of I don't want to say saved them, but kept the momentum up for the viewing audience at home, like kept me interested as they were, I'm not saying struggling, but they were just a step off here and there trying to feel each other out. But the second half of this and the finish was actually a lot of fun.
Well, I gotta say also, they benefited from having Tony there on commentary as well, because for all the missteps they may have had and a couple hard botches that may have happened, Tony covering it on commentary made it all the better. Like there was nothing wrong with it. I would take that, and I also feel like Stat had a good showing in the terms of getting that momentum back of I am a powerhouse, but I am a lot smarter than I look, and for all of Thunder Rosa not being able to, something's up. We don't know what's up with Rosa right now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
But Stat definitely covered up a lot of that. So
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Thunder. Like I'm glad that she's on my screen, don't get me wrong. I forever and a day will love her. But ever since coming back after, you know, being champion and then having to give it up, she being gone for so long, and then the alleged like sandbagging comments and everything circulating. Maybe it's just me projecting a little bit, but I feel like Thunder's a very strong woman. We know this.
Oh
But
yeah,
I wonder if it got into her head while she was gone of everything that was going down too.
gotta be. It's gotta be. I think that someone's in her ear, or she's realizing either something's not working as right as it was, and she's overcompensating, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, which sucks because Thunder is fantastic. I just want her.
Well, I honestly wonder, like, is she really back enough from the injury? Did she
Right.
give enough time?
If that's the case, then I mean we can speculate until the cows come home. But I'm hoping that whatever it is, Thunder will actually be given like some time to kind of, for all intents and purposes, soul search and figure out what she needs to do or what needs a change or something like that, and then come back out the gate swinging because I'm ready. I need to see Thunder back to when it was her and Britt in the Lights Out when I first was introduced to AEW. Like, girl fighting everybody. I need her to come back swinging again.
There is some disconnect there. She's not fully back invested, and I worry about. And there could be something in her personal life, could be something back home. Who knows? But Thunder, we wish you all the best. We hope you find whatever it is that'll allow you to open back up and start to really work your butt off again.
Oh, absolutely. But speaking of people that we rather, well, on the opposite spectrum of that we would not care too much if they weren't on our screen as much. Mr. Don Fallis himself. By the way, Kyle Fletcher, you cheeky bastard. I'm gonna be honest, I was watching him the whole entire time making faces in the back. It was fantastic. But again, that's his real personality. He was like that when we were at the Wrestle Show New Jersey last year.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, there is nothing fake about Kyle Fletcher.
He's fantastic. Love him. But Don Callis is basically cutting a Don Callis promo where, Kyle and Takeshita are gonna run the men's Owen Hart. And I'm like, okay. One of these two is going to make it further than the other.
I do have to ask them, Mikey, are we sure it's Dom Fallis? Is it not faux Fallis that we saw in the crowd later on?
Who knows? But by the way, shout out to Takeshita, is killing it. This man is booked and blessed, literally from Dynamite, then on Collision. Then we saw him on Windy City Riot over the weekend for New Japan. Like, man has been traveling all over the world.
He's getting his reps in. I see a big run coming. Who knows? Professor,
absolutely.
finish all the stuff we sent you?
Yeah, I just had to go put that on my promos of the year because that was just friggin' brilliant. And I just sent it to 3 other people. It was like, oh my God.
So, fun fact, I send these to Will too, and he literally uses Tony Storm as part of his classes. Be like, this is how character work is supposed to go.
Is she doing a transatlantic accent?
Yes. She's doing the Katharine Hepburn transatlantic.
How have I not put that together yet? Unbelievable.
Chris Statler, you are
so
a
good.
large woman.
I guess that's just because I heard it because of the W's and what she was saying this time. Insane.
Yes.
But yeah, this promo, all it was the setup, Don saying that Kyle and Takeshita are going to make it far in the tournament. And I'm like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah, they can't put them together unless it was the final, and they're not going to do that. So who knows?
No. The Undisputed Kingdom era is over. We are now referring to these 3 as the Paragon. Okay. Also, this was the worst. This was the only picture I can find, and it creeps me out that this is Roderick licking his lips in the middle of this still, and it's creeping me out.
Are they really called the Paragon?
Yep, that is what they are going by as now.
Maybe the odds isn't so bad.
Look, I'm happy that Adam Cole won the TNT Championship, but if they don't do something extraordinary with this, I'm not going to care either. Daniel Garcia was robbed.
Paragon?
Yeah.
Paris something.
Oh my God, who's coming up with this shit?
I don't know.
Call Vince Russo.
Oh, don't call Vince Russo. Absolutely not. That man can stay gone. We don't need that. AEW already gets enough of the olden day comparisons. We don't need actual people from the olden days doing here. Mind you, look at what happened when we had Sabu as guest enforcer at Double or Nothing 2 years ago.
Sure, I'm mostly just talking shit. I just can't believe some of these names that are coming out. Like, really? That's what you went with? Death Riders, the Ops, and Paragon? Those are the names of the factions you're creating? What are we doing?
I mean, Creative in AEW is doing it, so I'm just saying AEW, call us. We promise we have ideas.
Tell me that I'm wrong here. And just from the picture and also from the promo itself, I'm getting flashbacks to the Radicals.
Yeah.
Cole is Eddie Guerrero, Roddy Strong is Perry Saturn, and Kyle O'Reilly is Dean Malenko.
Oh my gosh. You're not wrong.
We don't
you're not
on
wrong.
there, but we have pretty much everything else.
I mean, hey, you know what? Paragon, we'll talk about you a little bit later when we get to Collision.
Can you just turn? I don't want to open my eyes. Can we just, no, please? I don't want to look. I don't want to look at this. This was
Okay, we're done.
Thank you.
Okay, we don't have to show the pictures again. Big Bill is tired of being a punching bag, and Chris Jericho loses his shit. And
the monitor
hits. Yeah, that monitor did not deserve that. But Chris Jericho is off of television, thank God, for however long this tour with his band is. Let's build Brian Keith and especially Large William to something more where they don't need Jericho.
Someone teach him how to swing a bat, for Christ's sake.
Oh my gosh.
He's from Canada. It's not their national pastime.
Ayo.
If he had a hockey stick in his hand, he'd be fine. But then he has trouble going over his head because you're not supposed to high stick. Sorry, did I just go down a really bad tangent there?
Yeah, you went down a rabbit hole there.
Cool. Main event time. So, okay, we'll talk about the match and then we'll talk about the discourse because people are coming down on Tony Khan's and snapping on his neck. Because, okay, match it first. Death Riders with Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta taking on 2/3 of the Ops and Hook and Mr. No Mames Mimosa Joe, Samoa Joe over here. So, the match itself was okay. Like, I knew this was not going to end in any shape or form in a clean way. It was okay.
I feel like that they could have. It was missing like a couple of spots. Like it seemed like they either had to like change something on the fly or they just weren't ready for whatever it was, like timing wise. That it stutter stopped itself a couple times trying to figure out where it was.
What was Claudio wearing to the ring? It was paper with wax on the jacket and some weird, like, I don't know. I still can't get over.
Sir, you look like a horrible Warhammer cosplayer. Get out of
here. It was awkward and strange. I didn't hate this match. I love watching Samoa Joe. I'll watch Samoa Joe all day. I feel like Hook is going to get stuck under the shadows of others until he makes a big jump or change. Right? Am I crazy in thinking that?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think we've hit the point that his one note character can go. He needs a shade of something else to like give his character flavor.
He got the FTW thing because it was his dad's. He feuded with Jericho. He feuded with Samoa Joe. Now he's under Samoa Joe's wing.
His best work was with Danhausen.
Sure. Yeah. Now.
R.I.P. Hookhausen.
And he's 24, 25, I think. I just don't want him to get stuck in this sort of one-note silent killer.
The problem is he's a Nepo baby, so he's going to be stuck no matter what. And he doesn't seem to have much of a gimmick other than I do the same thing my dad did. I'm just thinner.
Yeah, I'm kind of hot and I suplex people. Yay.
No, I agree with you, Professor. I think maybe not a drastic one, but there does need to be either an amplification or a change to Hook in one of the areas that you brought up. And, again, I point this out because even though the nepotism is different, Hook, and I'm going to go into my wrestling nerddom, so apologize. But Hook is having the same problem as in New Japan that Shota Umino is having with a lot of the criticisms he's having, where his dad is the famous Red Shoes, who is a big time referee in New Japan and is still currently working there. But also the nepotism is real too, because a lot of people not been liking Shota Umino's character for the last 2 months, which is similar to Hook's. And a lot of the Japanese wrestling fans, both in Japan and in the States, were not feeling the fact that Shota got a championship match to try to get the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom this year from Zack Sabre Jr. And so I think he's on the upswing, but that's because I think Shota has kind of learned from this past year and is making changes to his character to get back to what made him over with the crowd as before. And his matches against Hiroshi Tanahashi and going up against Hiroki Goto just at Windy City Riot this past weekend too, I think is on the upswing. All to say, I think Hook needs to do something to get him back on the upswing. Again, Hookhausen was probably my favorite iteration of Hook because it was two personalities we didn't expect, but somehow they managed to go well, very together. I also miss him just randomly eating chips every single promo. It was a quirk, and I think that's what Hook has been missing. There's not a quirk. There's not something that makes him stand out from a character perspective. He's literally, I'm Baby Taz, and that's it.
It's not even that. The last couple of times he's been involved in anything else, I'm Hook, but I'm defined by who I'm standing next to.
That's more what I'm speaking to, right? Absolutely right.
I'm always paired up with somebody else, which you do for younger wrestlers to get them some reps in, and you hope they rub off on him, but no one's rubbed off on him anymore. It's kind of there.
Yeah. It's Danhausen and Hook. It's Chris Jericho and Hook. It's Samoa Joe
and Hook.
Well, it's
and now he's stuck here again. Shibata and Hook, right? I also will say, then I know we got to move on. We're gonna talk forever. Wheeler Yuta is just there to be the Miz and take 10,000 pins for AEW. Yeah. It's getting old. It's sad
for every pin.
And unfortunately, I think because Pac is out, Wheeler has now been relegated into that role. But again, I don't suspect the Trios Championships are going anywhere tomorrow night on Spring Breakthrough. Now, a big talking point is that it seemed that at some point in this match, Hook was not looking right. He threw up in the middle of the match too.
Not in the middle of the match, end of the match, after he went on the chair.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, when he went on the chair, then he threw up. Some people were saying, oh my God, he got a concussion, things like that. And people are coming for Tony Khan's neck.
I had to go back and rewatch this. Because all of a sudden I turned away and then there's like two brown spots in the middle of the ring, and Joe's trying to avoid it because he's not even seeing it. He only steps in it twice, but Hook definitely vomited up some brown shit.
Oh, I totally missed this. I didn't see that at all. Really?
Yeah, and people were trying to figure out when it happened. Most people think it's that he landed wrong. I mean, how do you land right on the overturned chair on his midsection, and he either
really
must have done it to him, but. Yeah, it's clear. You can see him grab his hand and over his mouth and try to hide it as he vomits out this giant puddle onto the mat.
Yeah, it was gross. People are coming after AEW and Tony, saying this was unsafe. How can you? And I'm just I don't think it was planned, ladies and gentlemen, but I do hope Hook is okay. So I haven't heard reports of anything super serious happening, but as more information comes out, we'll keep that updated. But the last thing that closes out Dynamite is Joe getting on the mic. We needed a squeegee for this camera and declaring that the Ops are coming for the Trios Championship. So we are getting that match tomorrow night on Dynamite Spring Breakthrough. And that is how Dynamite goes off the air. Overall, Dynamite was pretty good. I enjoyed parts of it. I don't think it was horrible, but I was like, you know what? Now we're heading towards Double or Nothing. So we're starting at the building blocks again. So it was a pretty fun show. Alrighty. So now we're on to Collision. This is going to go by faster because they did not give us lots of backstage and promo stuff. It was mostly just wrestling, even if some were squash matches.
So nice to see.
I was like, yes, give it to me. But first, let's talk about the dark turn that was FTR, because they get into the ring. They recount what happened at Dynasty and why they turned on Cope. And then Dax just goes ham because he brings up some old stuff that was said before. And Tony Schiavone, I'm like, I love you, but you are saying the wrong things, my dudes.
Well, and on top of that, Tony Schiavone getting up to go in the ring with these two, and Nigel, for all of his being a heel commentator, stepping up to protect old Tony.
Yeah, after they start attacking Tony Schiavone and pushing him around, Nigel gets up and stands between them. I was like, yo, this might actually go hard. Like,
and then out of nowhere, who comes to back them up?
Yeah, but to come to back Nigel and Tony up is Daniel Garcia, who kind of comes up from behind and is trying to be like, yo, guys, what are you doing? Dax pushes Danny down to the ground. Daniel's like, oh, hell to the no. Why'd you do that for? Dax apologizes. And then we get the hug with Dax looking at the camera, be like, oh, I'm going to kill him later.
Like doing the John Cena face.
Literally. Cash, the jury is still out on Cash because Cash is not giving me, oh, we're totally going to be heel for this.
The jury came back. It was alleged that it was aggravated.
We'll love to see it, but we're going to talk about these boys a little bit later because we got to get into this.
Oh my God.
This is where the promo happened, where Tony Storm runs down everybody in the Owen Hart. It was great.
I just saw it's on my promos of the year. Like literally, that's the one. That's now the one to beat.
So good. She is so dang good. Love it.
Also, by the way, what is it going to take? I know it'll never happen to get Wendy Richter just to respond.
Yes.
She's got to be out there somewhere, right?
She knows about it now. She has come out and said she's aware of it. She is not acknowledging her on purpose. I don't think, not because she doesn't want to wrestle or anything else. I just don't think Wendy Richter wants to get involved with anything. I also know she's on a Legends deal with WWE. So, but it'd be perfect if she could even just say something out loud and acknowledge she's seen this.
Right. Please, Wendy Richter, we want to see you and Tony Storm interact. It'll be great.
She's from Dallas, Texas.
That is also true.
Whoa, that's
on the predictions, like just random Wendy
Nostradamus. Even an intro, like a pre-tape intro for Tony at Y'all In would be great. Anyways,
they got to do that. Never mind. We're talking about go.
This is where we get the announcement that Pac is out, so Mox is going to step in at Spring Breakthrough in the Trios Championship match. Marina, I feel for you. She's looking at us. She's like, y'all, you need to get me up on out of here because I'm about to break some heads.
Let her break some heads. Do something.
Just let her fight. Like, I want her to beat bitches up. Like, I want her to fight people. I love her as Defy Women's Champion, but you're in AEW. AEW needs to let her fight people. Come on now. Anyways, we move on.
Ooh.
We get a squash match where Gates of Agony are finally back on our screen.
Which I love this, and I think they need to be that mid-card tag team to come up and give the Murder Machines and stuff a run for their money as another big tag team. It'd be amazing. I don't want to sidetrack this. Wendy Richter has responded.
Ooh.
She said, I didn't even know. Someone said, are you going to wrestle Tony Storm? And I said, who's that? I didn't know who she was. You know what? I would wrestle Mike Tyson if they paid me enough. I'll wrestle anybody, she said.
Yes!
I challenge you, Tony. For $20 million, I'll do it. She said that Tony Khan's got deep pockets.
Ooh. Hey, it's not an impossibility.
But either way, Gates of Agony up there and loving that they're actually being used in a good way and coming down in a couple places of we're basically going after the Hurt Syndicate. They're going to get wrecked, but it's nice to see them doing that.
We love to see big beefy boys, especially big beefy boys of color, be able to do stuff. Also, I think this is a roundabout because Brian Cage posted on his Instagram he was out with an injury, and I saw those surgery pictures. It was gnarly.
What?
Oh, he tore a whole entire ligament leg. Like, they cut him open. Look at his Instagram. It's graphics, so if you are squeamish, it is not for the faint of heart. But I was like, hot damn, Brian Cage. Speedy recovery to you, my dudes.
Very much
so. But squash match, Gates of Agony, we love them. I've missed these boys on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point I knew that Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange were not going to survive the night. I love that these two are like the surrogate gay dads. Daniel Garcia at this point. You cannot. This is so. I love it so much. But Mr. Menard and Ange here are not digging how FTR is, hanging out with Daniel, and they're not going to let him betray, and they're not going to let them betray him and stab him in the back. So to settle this, they propose that they have a match, and so we're going to get these 4 fighting tonight. So,
yeah.
2.0, I love y'all, but we knew you were not making out of this unscathed tonight.
Well, and unscathed is a very light word there. There is some major damage done.
Especially to Matt Menard.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Yo, this match was only 8.5 minutes. It did not need to go this hard.
Well, and you've got Bowen screaming and then going after things. The work was amazing. Blake Christian doing some really innovative offense.
So good.
Being a heel and getting away with that stuff is just ridiculous. And Bowen's just hanging with him, doing a good job of it.
Literally coming out in a crop top. Everything that I love.
And then loving when Daddy Ass just completely wrecks Lee Johnson.
Yes, it's so good. This was not even this was not even on the main event, and I was just like, they're like, all right, we got 8.5 minutes. Let's just show up and show out, and that's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm.
I am so here for an Anthony Bowen singles push. Like, I am here for it all. Man deserves it, and let's do this. Make him the first. Let's make him another black champion, but let's also make him AEW. Let's make him a gay champion. Let's go. An openly gay champion, I should say. I'm here for
that
it.
Would be huge. That needs to happen.
Yes, absolutely. This is a great match. I loved it. This was also a straight banger. Round 2 was just as good as round 1. This was a quarterfinal match. Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks. I thought Billy and Jamie died with the amount of times that both of them were dropping each other on necks. It was crazy.
They went hard in this match. And Billy playing all her squirrely games, playing the heel persona up with lovely. Oh my God. This is what I tuned in for, and I was not disappointed.
I'm going to just say this right now because I'll say it again at the end. Collision was my favorite AEW show this past week because they had some phenomenal wrestling matches. And we did not waste my time with fluff. So this was a banger. Jamie Hayter ends up winning. She is moving to the semifinals. So it's going to be her and Chris. Yeah, her and Chris. God, that match is going to be so good.
2 meaty ladies. No, that doesn't work as well. Never mind.
No. Again, like when we talked about when the brackets were released, I'm like, this side of the bracket has me more excited than the other side because we already knew that Mercedes and Athena were going to be facing each other. I'm like, y'all shouldn't let them touch until later, but hey, I'm not booking.
Or not put it in the tournament.
Right.
We tried
that could have just been a whole match at Double or Nothing by itself.
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited. Chris versus Jamie is going to slap. It's going to be good. Megan wrecked girls out here, and I loved it. This is also a squash match. Megan just throwing 2 girls around the ring. Somebody lost a tooth probably at one point, so it's just like the Mega Sis is still here, and she will kill you. Give me Nyla Rose and Megan, please.
She
AEW.
hasn't lost much momentum through all of this, but they do have to build her up a little bit just to keep it going there, keep people interested.
Oh, absolutely. I loved it. This was great. Megan, keep doing you. And I will see you on Friday at Joey Janela's Spring Break 9. That's going to be fun. This was also a banger. Like Jesus. Collision just decided, you know what? Let's just throw on a bunch of matches tonight and see how it goes.
Well,
again,
the workers in the ring, it was going to be amazing, but they just tore it down.
This was so damn good. AR Fox, man, like getting the screen time out here and just loving it. And I'm just like, friend to the channel. We love you, AR Fox.
Well, between the ring awareness of the two of them, they didn't just do it like high spot after high spot. There were some good low things. There was a lot of good storytelling going into it. AR Fox calling it in the ring. You could tell he was not bringing Kevin along, but like, hey, let's try this. Let's try this. And it was a lot of fun to watch.
Man. Honestly, I would love to see again, AR Fox versus anybody on this roster right now is so good. I still want, and again, it's crazy. They mentioned ROH on AEW television, which is wild because commentary brought up the fact that the last time these two went to blows, that ended in a time limit draw. So I was just like, Yes, I want to see a best of 5 series like we did with the best of 7 series like we did with Andrade and Carmella Professor on SmackDown. Like, let these two just go at it and have a best of series. That'd be so good.
I gotta go watch Collision. Apparently, I gotta find more time in my life, but this sounds amazing.
You know when I find time to watch it? Monday mornings.
Seriously, honestly, I do recommend go watch this match, Professor. This is a lot of fun for sure.
Give me a 7 out of 13 falls match with these two.
Seriously. I wish AR Fox was in the tournament. How come he wasn't in the tournament is my question, Tony. But I digress.
He still could be the wild card.
I mean, that is very true. Yo,
that'll make me sad though, because then, well, whoever's in that wild card spot.
But listen, right? AR versus Hangman is a matchup we haven't seen, at least to my knowledge, yet, and I think that'd be great.
Or Kevin Knight.
Yes, like this was great. Well, I mean, Kevin was already in the tournament. He lost the will at Dynasty, but even still, give me a best of series with these two. I will watch it. This is where we get the official announcement that our boys at the Gates of Agony are coming for those tag titles at Spring Breakthrough. So I'm here for it.
I mean, they're going to get squashed, but yeah, I'm here that they're coming through.
Me too. I love both of these men. Toa Leona, Bishop Khan, we love you. Daniel, you are a child of divorce.
Literal bloodbath here. I mean, seriously.
Yo, Daddy Magic was bleeding buckets by the end of this match. And I was here for it.
Was like on the floor for half of it. He did nothing.
Okay, this is just a subtle thing, and like you two can call me out on it for my lack of theater experience, but the visual of watching FTR not do 1 but 3 shatter machines back to back loaded into the chamber to make a statement was beautiful storytelling. I was like, oh, they are really gonna fuck people up now, and they're gonna let you know it. They made a statement to Daniel. They're like, see what we're gonna do to them? This is what happens when they get into our business.
I think they have to go that far to sell the heel turn on Adam Copeland, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you're evil, well, then you can't just be evil. You have to be mean, above and beyond, right? Because that's kind of, I don't know. I don't mind them as heels at all. They did some great work when I first started watching AEW as heels, and then they've kind of had this sort of face
they
thing for a while.
When they were heels in NXT too, when they were there. So I mean, it makes complete sense. Can I ask? Go ahead, perfect. My thing was, Mikey, watching the end of this match, did you for a hot second think Daniel was going to turn when he's lifting Menard up?
So because I watched Collision twice on my first watch through, because I didn't take any notes because I just wanted to take in what I saw on my screen and then went back to do notes afterwards. There was a small part of me that thought about it, but then I thought about the history, especially with Matt Menard being alongside Danny for his whole entire run when he got beat up by MJF, took some time off, came back, took the title from MJF, and then was with Daniel the whole entire time during this, albeit an okay championship run. I thought about it. I was like, no, Daniel wouldn't turn against his 2 gay dads. like, I don't think that was.
For a hot second there was a hot second because he was taking so long to get him up before we had a run in to save good old Danny. So,
yeah. So Daniel gets mad after the match at FTR. He's like, y'all are doing too much. Goes to check on Daddy Magic. FTR attack Daniel, and then he is saved by the Paragon. So Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly come out to save this, and I'm just like,
remember when I said the Benoit?
Yeah. Oof. Damn. So
damn.
Again, Daniel Garcia is a child of divorce. He is caught between all these factions. Like, it is wild.
Paragon?
That's the takeaway. Paragon.
There's 100 other things you could have used. There's better P words, for God's sakes. Why that one?
I don't know anymore, but
because it sounds edgy and cool.
Sure.
Paragon. I mean, you could go Polygon. I would have taken Polygon. Polygon sounds, cool. Paragons. Enigma.
Sure. Enigma is trash too. I'm sorry. Anyways, moving on from this.
Schadenfreude.
In my heart of hearts.
Thank you to your wife for that one.
Yep, they heard that.
I knew where that was coming from.
I love that. In my heart of hearts, I knew she wasn't going to win. But damn, Athena and Harley, I would actually be okay if they ran it back again.
Heart jacket she wore to the ring. Damn,
It
girl.
was so good. Harley is like, I love her so much. We knew she wasn't going to beat Athena, but again, just like
I was hopeful, but yeah.
we knew she wasn't going to beat Athena. But honestly, this was a really fun match for both of them. I just wish that we moved this side of the bracket a little bit differently, where this would be a semifinal match and not a quarterfinal match, because I would have at least loved to see Harley get one win and then she gets knocked out of the tournament. But she didn't even get a chance to move. She was in the initial bracket and she went up against, the longest reigning Ring of Honor champion, period, whether it's man or woman, being in Athena. But Harley's just so good. And you know what? I know we gave her a lot of crap when she first popped up on her screen, but you know what? Girl has come a long way and she's putting in the work and it's definitely showing. And I love her. She gave it the best bet. And Athena is Athena. I already knew she was going to be fantastic in this match too. So I'm just sad that Harley didn't at least get one win. And her social media promo made me cry a little bit more too.
Athena and Mercedes could have been their own match, and you could have had a better match with Harley and somebody else that you might have had a chance against. Like, seriously.
I'm going to be so for real. We could have honestly, we could have taken Athena and Mercedes out, have that be its own match, and then put in like maybe Megan and somebody else in here too. Megan in this tournament would have been fun, honestly.
I think these tournaments should be focused on the mid card, is my take. I don't think any champions should be involved, because then we can really showcase the folks that are fighting and grinding and doing the 9-to-5 work for companies like this.
Like Owen Hart.
Exactly. Right.
Also, I know you don't like to give women a lot of time, but next year, for both men and women, can we expand the brackets from 4 on each side to like maybe 6 or 8 on both sides?
Make it the Owen Hart G1 Classic?
G1 tournament? Yes. Basically, well, I mean, you run into the problem because then it'll be too similar to the Continental. But literally, yeah, or do the New Japan Cup rules where it's a whole bracket with a bunch of the roster, and then we make our way to the finals. Winner gets a championship match.
With the women's roster, you could put the whole women's roster into a tournament.
Seriously, let that be a thing. Come on, Tony Khan, book it, you coward. But yeah, I knew Harley wasn't going to win, but these two had a fun showing. This was great. I love this. Even in loss, she's great. We hear from Mercedes and all her belts. We are getting her and Athena, if I remember correctly. They're doing it at Spring Breakthrough, which is crazy to me. I'm like, huh? I was like, so soon? Why?
We'll try to draw the eyes away from WrestleMania, which makes sense, or all the stuff that's going on for WrestleMania.
I guess. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I'm more excited for Mercedes' title defense at Resurgence in May for New Japan than I am in their match against Athena. Only because it's going to be a triple threat, and Mercedes is going to need to bring it because she has her work cut out for her, because she is going up against both Mina Shirakawa and Stardom's Azumi, who, we all know about Mina and what we got to see in AEW, but her Stardom stuff is great. And me and JBL here more specifically, we know about some of the Stardom girls. Azumi is no joke. She will kick your teeth in and then some. Like, her and Mina were throwing down for 15 minutes at Windy City Riot, and they literally were fighting on the floor. They lifted things. They were landing on concrete. It was wild.
Oh, career shortening injuries. Let me just say. Either way, yes.
Yeah.
We heard from Mercedes. Great. Awesome. Move on.
Yes. Again, a banger. Like, holy crap. Brody King is very good in the ring. He's very reliable. But man, the fact that Takeshita had to give this man 3 whole knee strikes to put him down was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, this was so good. This was a great main event. I was just like, damn, like, this episode of Collision was hacked full of bangers.
I'm also enjoying that AEW is leaning into the fact that they're acknowledging the Dom Fallis doppelganger that's in the crowd now all the time. Like, Don's actually getting mad, like, get that man out of here. Like, and I don't think it's a plant. I think he's just having fun with it, but it's so good to see.
It is great. I love it so much. This is going to be so good.
But our Takeshita moves on.
Yeah, Takeshita moves on into the tournament. He moves on to the semifinals, so I cannot wait. Takeshita is on the other side, so he's going to face the winner of the wild card versus Hangman, right? Yeah, because that's on that side of the bracket.
He's fighting Hangman. We know this.
Oh, please let it be Hangman. I'm so excited. Ugh, that'd be so fantastic.
Watch Kenny be the wild card.
That would be wild. Kenny versus Hangman will need to happen. I don't want it to happen now.
Round 1 of the Owen Hart final.
I still hope it's Dalton Castle and it's just a squash match.
Yo, Dalton
and it's
Castle.
just over. And then Dalton can just go crazy and be here for an AEW.
Please, we need more comedy wrestling in AEW. Harley Cameron cannot hold it down as Harley Graham.
We love her pulling double duty, though. We love to see it.
Duty.
Just duty. All right. So that brings us to the end of the All Elite Ensemble review, but I do have a bit of news to talk about, as I'm tending to do because all these promotions are crossing over with each other. I'm only bringing this up because we are having some AEW talent being involved over in New Japan in a couple of weeks for their New Japan Resurgence show, which is in Ontario, California. I think I might end up going, so hopefully we'll see. But I bring this up because there's a couple of AEW talent that is involved in some of the matches at Resurgence. As mentioned before, Mercedes Moné is defending her New Japan Strong Women's Championship against both Mina Shirakawa and Stardom's Azumi, which is going to be fantastic. Also, we have our, Oni himself of AEW, Konosuke Takeshita, will be defending his never openweight championship against ELP El Phantasmo himself, which is also going to be a fun one. We also, and this is the last bit of news, we are getting a 4-on-4 match at Windy City Riot. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson called out Bullet Club War Dogs to a 4-on-4 match. So at Resurgence, it's going to be Bullet Club War Dogs, which is going to be comprised of Gabe Kidd, David Finlay, Clark Connors, and Mr. Ghetto himself, love Ghetto, taking on the team of Matthew Nicholas Jackson and 2 friends they said that they're going to bring that have ties to Bullet Club. I'm like, okay, you have my interest in Matthew and Nicholas. I'm interested to see who you bring to Resurgence.
I'm pretty sure it's Gallows and Anderson.
I'm pretty sure it's them too. I would not be surprised, but you know what? If it's them, cool.
Finn Balor.
AJ Styles.
I hate
what?
Listen, I hate the internet sometimes because everyone's losing their minds because The Rock was wearing a New Japan shirt in his Instagram live the other day. I'm like, y'all need to calm down. However, while it's still new, there are reports that John Cena would love to face the ace Hiroshi Tanahashi, but because Tanahashi's retiring at Wrestle Kingdom in January in 2026. I don't know how that would go, but who knows?
It'd be the slowest match ever. Anyway.
But yeah, that is my news. So lots of AEW talent being involved in New Japan's Resurgence, which makes a lot of sense because, now we're getting more of these people coming in and out for both companies, because also announced today from the tickets going on sale at the end of the month, it will be Forbidden Door at the O2 Arena, which is anybody who knows about the O2, I do as a raver and EDM head myself. That is a huge venue.
Mm-hmm.
It is crazy. Gentlemen, thank you for being here this evening. This was a fun one. A bit of a long one, but I'm glad because we don't get to review the Spring Breakthrough shows next week, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. And
we should save some time up and get some sleep because we got a long weekend ahead of us.
What is the sleep you talk of? I am going to be in the thick of it.
I know.
I will be here when I can. It's wild around here, but we'll make it happen.
Yes, we will.
Yes, it is okay, Professor. We know you're busy, and JVL, everybody's busy, but I'm just happy that I have a crew. Everybody's going to be places. We're getting people we haven't seen in a hot minute coming back for reviews too, so I'm excited. I'm happy to see Jesse coming back for the WrestleMania reviews. Is going to be great. Will really is mad that he could not be a part of this year, but he's in the middle of directing a show, so we all know how that goes. And
like that without Will having to have something to direct. Like in general, he just seems to get it right when we need him, and it's always that, and that's fine. That's what
we try. He's really upset that he couldn't do Effie's Big A brunch. Like,
I believe it.
Hopefully he still gets to watch it, but yeah, this week is going to be crazy. Tomorrow is the final night of regular reviews. I will be doing a quick NXT review because it is the go-home show tonight before Stand and Deliver. And then me, Adolfo, and Will be covering CMLL. Again, their next big show is Fantastica Mania in June, which is CMLL and New Japan crossover, which is going to be great. And the 1-year anniversary of our CMLL review show, too, because that was the first show we reviewed last year.
God, it's been a year. God,
it's a year since it's crazy. Then everything kicks off this Thursday, 8 p.m. Pacific, is Bloodsport 13 watch along with myself, Andrew, Adolfo, the mini-ferd of minis. So I'm excited. So that's at 8 p.m. Pacific. Friday is at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Is Joey Janela's Spring Break 9, where not only are we going to have the likes of Masha Slamovich, we're getting a senior scramble match where all the participants are over the age of 65. We also are getting Sabu's final retirement, getting his retirement match against Joey Janela in a no-rope barbed wire massacre death match. Also, Minoru Suzuki is on that card. And
Sabu might actually die. Sabu is
Murder Grandpa Minoru Suzuki is on the card too, so he might be killing the GCW Ultraviolet Heavy Championship too. So it's gonna be crazy.
Minoru's gonna live forever.
That is gonna be fantastic. Then of course Saturday morning is NXT Stand and Deliver watch along with the Night 1 WrestleMania watch along later that evening. Sunday is Night 2 watch along, and then all next week are reviews for Stand and Deliver, Effie's Big Gay Brunch, Night 1 of WrestleMania, Progress Vegas' show where the internet's favorite champion, Simon Miller, will he walk out as champion? Who knows? We'll cover on that. We get both nights of WrestleMania review, and then, of course, TNA Unbreakable pay-per-view is also happening in the midst of all this. This is crazy. So we got a lot going on.
Simon Miller, wild card, AEW, Owen Hart.
Okay, let me tell you, the people he's fighting in this match is kind of great. It's him, another Progress wrestler by the name of Charles Crowley. His moniker is the Little Cheeky Bastard, which I love so much. It's so good. Paul Walter Hauser is also in this match too, which is great. We have somebody I'm not familiar with. I think it's Aaron Roque, I think is his full name. But more importantly, I'm just excited because hailing from GCW and our current GCW champion, we also are getting the big gay man himself, Effie, in this match. And I'd love me some Effie. Simon Miller and Effie interaction is what I've wanted forever. It's going to be so damn good. So that is going to be it for us here at All Elite Ensemble. So stay tuned for all the madness that is this week. And you know what? From all of us here at All Elite Ensemble and the rest of the BC WrestlePod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay biconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will catch you tomorrow for another double dose of reviews, but until then, sayonara, adios, and we'll catch you later. Ta-ta for now.